Hi everybody, hope you're all having an awesome day. I hope you have a great New Year's wherever you might be. Hope that it's going to be a great 2020 and that we're going to get the headline, "We're not alone in the universe," and we haven't been forever. So anyways guys, this is part 3 of my special edition of this series I call Remnants of an Ancient Civilization on Mars. And this is the evidence I've gathered over the past 2 years of doing this research. Overwhelming body of evidence, I think. I've submitted this to a couple of sort of mainstream people. Let's see what happens in the near future. Amongst others, the producers of Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. So let's see what comes of it. I'm tired of seeing the face of Cydonia. Cydonia is so old already. It's time we move on, eh? I don't know what you guys and girls think. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think this deserves the airtime that the face in Cydonia did? So we're starting off with the first anomaly, and as always, the blog and YouTube video. The title is found on the first line, down in the bottom left of each slide. Underneath that, the reference to the original NASA source. So I do encourage you, download these files, check them out, and you'll see these artifacts are really there. I'm not conjuring these up, guys and girls. So this is from Wreckage, Piles, Structures and Debris south of Kuiper on Mars. We've got this strange looking container, if I could call it a container, over there. And the opening is about 10 by 10 meters. We've got the rectangular shape. Check it, the straight edges over here, 90-degree angle, and it shows some sign of wear and tear, and inside it what looks like a disc sticking out over there. Don't know what that is. Right, then we've got something similar over there. Huge debris field near the Kanowski-Asimov ley line on Mars, and the opening on this one is about, let's see, about 6 by 6 meters. Also this rectangular shape, and got straight edges there, 90-degree angle, and something seems to be stuck inside the opening over there. And this is also a terrible resolution photograph, so it looks really low res, but check that out. And we've got a dome on the top, and there are some similar examples. Just checked out that one, this one from part 1 of this series, and this one from part 2 of this series. So it looks like there's some sort of containers, or I don't know, outposts, hangars on Mars. This one over here, undeniable. Check out the straight edges on this thing. Right, then we're looking at from the same YouTube video and blog post, a strange disc-like object over there, and it's sticking out of something on the side that's layered over the top. That disc is about 12 meters in diameter, like so many others that I'll show you, and up close. Check that out. We've got this strange piece that's lying on the top, and I'll show you another one like that as well. There's one from part 2 of this series, also a disc, and a strange piece on the top. Very similar designs again. Right, then we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided object over there. Each side is about 8 meters in length. Check that out. 6-sided object right there. How unusual is that? Not that unusual. I'll show you why I say that. Check out this. We've got 2 objects on square plates or slabs over there. This is from weird square structures and more found in Ionia Terra on Mars, and one of the sides there is about 12 meters in length. So let's check out this one first. A bit of a side view. Looks like it's slightly bent up over here to the bottom right. And then we have anomaly on the top running through the diagonal of that base structure over there. Many more of those that I'll show you as well. And there it is up close. This rectangular design to it. Right through the diagonal, like it's been placed there. We're looking at this strange pumpkin seed plectrum shaped object. I'll show you many more of those too. Also right in the center of that square plate or structure, and each side is about 12 meters in length. Right, then there are some similar triangular structures on larger square base structures. This one here is from part 1 of this series, and this one from part 2. Connecting more dots for you guys and girls. This is my attempt at massive disclosure. No one else seems to be doing it. That's why I'm spending this time showing you guys. This is taking me ages to do, so do share it with your friends and everyone that you can. The news has to get out there. It just can't stay at my channel. I've only got 1,800 subs. I can't understand why. Shadow banning, I don't know what it is, but other guys got thousands and thousands of subscribers, even over 1 million. So very frustrating. Anyway, let's check out this. This is from part 1, alignments and strange objects found near Euripus Mons. And we've got more placement of smaller knobs or protrusions or parts on a larger base structure. And that piece there measures about 10 meters across. And each of the protrusions on top are about 1.5 meters to 2 meters. Check it, the placement, another triangular shape there. And this is from part 1 of this series, and that there from part 2. And I'll show you more of this placement of 3 objects in triangles in part 4. Right, then we've got this object over there measuring about 12 meters across, and in its center we've got protrusions arranged in a circular pattern around a center object. Check it, that same size, and the spacing between them is equal. More over there. This one measures about 15 meters across. I know there's lots of other anomalies, guys, but in this series I'm concentrating on trying to connect as many dots as possible for you. So let's check that out. We're also looking at this strange structure over here. Let's check this one out. This is from also part 1, alignments and strange objects found near Euripus Mons. Very similar to this object over there. Also got like a rectangular shape to it. Check it, the right angles and straight edges, and on top the domes or protrusions. Looks like it's maybe open on the side over here. And then we're looking at that. Also placement of these smaller objects in a circular pattern, same size and equal spacing between them. And there's some other examples. This is from part 1 of this series, also arranged in a circle around that. And this is one we checked out just prior to this one. And then look at this massive plate or slab over there. That measures about 12 by 15 to 18 meters long. and zoom up close. This thing's in pristine condition. Check it, the well-defined edges there, right angle, got alignment of protrusions or smaller parts in a row there. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Triangle there, little donut shaped part lying in the corner over here that seems to be carved out slightly. So what the heck could that be? Sheet metal, debris, wreckage, structure. Some other examples of alignment of protrusions in rows. This is from part 1, both of these. And check it out, we also got 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connecting more dots. This is from part 2, alignments and strange objects found near Euripus Mons. Another one of these sheet metal type of anomalies right there, and buried next to it another one over here. That side there is about 12 meters long, and zoom up close, also slightly raised off the surface, bent in on the side over here, have a right angle there, some type of wreckage again. Okay, here we've got interlocking parts. That there's about 15 meters across, and the protrusions on top about 2 meters in diameter. Look at that, 2 parts. You've got a square cutout over there, and this piece over here seems to fit into that cutout, and we've got those 3 protrusions on it, also again in a triangle, and we've got a right angle. Show you more of those. This is another one I just thought I'd throw in here from part 2 of the series, also 2 parts with a square or rectangular part on the one side, and on top of each one we have a protrusion. Seems like there's a smaller one over there, also a triangle. Right, from the same blog post and YouTube video, we've got this over there, 2 interlocking parts again, and that piece there is massive. It's about 15 meters across, and you can see straight edges there, 90-degree angles, and it seems as if this eroded block over here fits in next to that. So there they are for comparison. As I say, this one's from part 2 of this series. Alright guys, and we're looking at another smaller little disc-like object on that larger base structure. That there is about 5 meters across, and it's on top of what looks like some type of wreckage. With that, we got right angle over there. Looks like this piece is layered on top of this bottom piece, and this bright smaller object on the top, and it seems as if it's curved over. Wonder if that's a little structure on top of that there. And there's some other examples. These are all from part 2. Got the larger structures at the bottom and the smaller structures on top. Right, another plectrum or pumpkin seed shaped object. This one's about 15 meters across, and the rectangular object on top is about 8 by 4 meters. Check that out. Got symmetry and geometry going on here. And there's another one only the point is sticking out. Zoom up, check there, and there they are for comparison. Right, then we're going to be looking at what looks like some type of liquid seeping up to the Martian surface and running down gullies and dunes. Check that out there. This is from water seeping up through Martian surface in Mons on Mars. Check that out. About 40 meters wide. Got this long streak coming down there. And some more coming out over here. And then this is also from Mons. Got this here. Looks like it's dried out a bit there as well. Some more. More over here, running out of that crevice. And then this is from Maunder crater. Got these dark streaks running down into the gully over there. Check that out. I doubt this is dust that's run down the edges and caused the darker streaks. That's what NASA says those are caused by dust moving down these slopes. Check that out as well. These dark streaks. Looks like mud to me. Wet sand. And then similar ones. This is from water structures, rents and wreckage in Elysium Planitia on Mars, and that's close to the InSight lander and rover Curiosity. Just by the way, that streak there is about 40 meters long, and it seems to be seeping up to the surface and running down the side of this butte the way it spreads out, just like water would do. As well, here's another example. There looks like a top of an entranceway. Right, then we've got this strange surface feature. Looks almost like some type of mining activity. Get the larger rectangle over there, and the two smaller ones on the sides. Wonder what happened over here. And that's about 60 meters long and about 25 meters wide. Symmetry and geometry. Definitely not a meteorite impact. Never seen one that makes squares and rectangles. Right, and then we've got a dome, and that measures about 15 meters across, and the smaller one in the center is about 8 meters in diameter, partially covered in sand and dust. I wonder if that's a classic flying saucer with a dome on it. And then also another pyramidal feature over there. I haven't featured this one in part 1 or 2 of this series, so this is new for this series. And each side there is about, let's see, 40 meters long. And you can see straight edges to it. And you can see, looks like the other side here eroded away. And like all the others, this is from part 1. Check at those. More triangles. This one over here, very similar to this one. Right, then we get to these weird objects comparable architectural designs in Proctor Dunefield on Mars. And this piece is about, let's see, 15 meters wide by about 20 meters long. And the protrusion or dome-like object there is about 4 meters in diameter. Got the two larger parts, a line splitting the two, and then the smaller part right there in the center on that line. And I'll show you more of those. This one over here from the same video and blog post, about 20 by 20 meters, and the smaller part in the center is about 5 meters across. We've got the two parts, we've got the line splitting the two, and that part in the center. It looks almost like a little pyramid. Triangular in shape for sure. There they are for comparison. Right, something similar over there. That piece is about 15 meters by 20 meters, and the small part over there is about 2 meters in diameter. Seems like this part is carved away, and that little sphere was placed there, very close to the center. This piece here measures about 15 meters across, consisting of two parts, with a little, almost like a little triangular part there, about 4 by 4 meters, placed in the center of this rectangular part. And there those two are for you to compare. From strange architecture spotted in Proctor Dunefield on Mars, we've got elliptical part. Each side there is about, let's see, 8 meters long, with the symmetry and geometry of that piece. And then, like I showed you in the beginning of the video, we're looking at another example of parts aligned diagonally on squares. This is located here to the right, and that side there is about, let's see, 15 meters long, and it's got straight edges and right angles to it, and then that piece, rectangular piece, lying across the diagonal. And there they are for you to compare. Very similar, those two over there. Right, then we're looking at megalithic blocks with knobs on them, very similar to those found in South America. We'll have a look at that. And this piece here is about 15 by 20 meters, and the protrusion on it is about 2 to 3 meters across. Look at the design and the right angle there. I'll show you some more. This one over here, that's about 12 by 15 meters, and the protrusion on it is about 2 meters across. Straight edges there, also a rounded design, right angle. This one over here, also similar to it. This is about 10 by 15 meters, and it's got two protrusions on it. Right angles, straight edges, and there they are for you to compare. And the blocks of Cusco, Peru, that there is very, very similar to those we had a look at. Interlocking blocks. Another example over here. And then we're looking at hexagonal objects or multiple-sided objects with geometry. This piece here, each side is about 8 meters long, and we can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides that are visible, and there are some other examples. This is from part 2 of the series. So show me how nature makes shapes like these. I can understand round spherical objects that have rolled around in moving water and so on, but how does this happen? Please let me know. And there's some more examples. These are from part 2. Get the perfect symmetry in that one. We're looking at this object over here. There's another one of those 2-part structures with a little protrusion here, the line that splits the two, but we'll check out this for now. That piece is about 10 by 8 meters, and there to the center of the one side we've got that little protrusion that measures about 2 meters across. And as I say, it's in the center. Looks almost as if that's a piece of it over there to the top right, and it fits next to this piece here. Another piece like it. This one's about 15 by 10 meters, and the protrusion on the center of that side is about 2 meters across. Straight edges and right angles. Slightly rounded corners, of course, but check that out. Right there on the center of this side. Here we're looking at a strange dome disc-shaped object of about 12 meters in diameter, and on the one side we've got that little piece sticking off to the right. There's some others for you to compare to get the similarities. And this one's from part 2. Also have the smaller part in the center of the one edge. Got something sticking out of it over here, and that is about 15 meters across. Got a block, or looks like a block, with a strange oval piece sticking into the top. Yeah, we're looking at a similar piece, and it also has this strange part sticking out of the top. And there they are compared. Look at the similarities going on there again. Think of this huge disc, part of a disc over there. Still in strange architecture spotted in Proctor Dunfield on Mars, we've got this square object over there with a little triangle on the top, and each side is about 10 by 10 meters, and we've got the triangle arranged on top right through the center of the square. Perfect symmetry and geometry again. There's some similar ones that I'm comparing it to. This is from part 1 and part 2. And there's another one from part 2 of this series. Okay, and we're looking at, almost looks like a tombstone. Not that it is, but check it, the shape, the design. That's about 20 meters long by about 8 meters wide. Got straight edges, right angles, and then the rounded design at the top. And in the center, we've got a dark spot. Not sure if it's caused by a shadow of something over here to the left. Check out this alignment of 3 parts again. That semicircular shape over there is about 15 meters across, and on top of this piece in the front we've got 3 objects, placed in a triangle. Check at this disc shape over there. That's about 12 meters in diameter, and the smaller circular feature on top is about 4 meters in diameter. It's also got a little dome on it. Looks like it crashed over here and pushed the sand up to the bottom left. Just like all those that come in from the top right and seem to go down towards the bottom left in that direction diagonally across, and then they crash like that. Very, very weird. Yeah, another disc over there. That one's about 15 meters in diameter, and the part on top is about 8 meters across. So partially covered in sand and dust here. And this is in the center of the larger disc. Also looks as if that straight edge over there slightly elevated off the surface. I wonder if that's an opening. Check out this strange dome there on top of a disc. That dome is about 10 meters in diameter, and it's on top of a larger disc. Definitely dome shaped. Check this piece out. The circular object on it has a diameter of about 8 meters, and it seems to be sticking out of the block over there. This is from Connecting the Dots, Odds and Ends in Proctor Dune Field on Mars. I think the couple just before this are as well. That circular object there has a diameter of about 4 meters, and it's on top of a larger structure underneath. So there they are for you to compare. And some more. This is from part 2. These two over here. Also these strange circular objects on top of larger disc-like objects. Okay, another one of these, what looks like an obelisk. That piece is about 15 meters long, and the bright side there is about 2 meters wide. Check that out. You've got straight edges here, parallel lines, and then it slopes off on either side. Similar to that one from part 2 of the series. This one's also from part 2. Same sort of length and width. Check out this strange circular design over there. This is also still Connecting the Dots, Odds and Ends in Proctor Dune Field. That there is about, let's see, 15 to 18 meters across. And the circular object there is about 4 meters across. And we've got 3 parts arranged in a triangle. Then we've got a rounded edge over here. Show some more of these in part 4. Rounded discs with straight edges and a right angle. I featured one in part 2. And then check this out. Very similar. This is from part 1. And it's also about the same size. We've got arrangement or placement of smaller parts on top. Uncanny sort of resemblance over there. Yeah, and we're looking at small little triangles. This is still Odds and Ends in Proctor Dune Field. That little triangle, each side is about 3 to 4 meters long, and it's located in the center of that clearing over there. check at this triangular block over here. This is from dozens of triangular objects spotted in Newcomb on Mars. And each side of that triangle is about, let's see, 8 meters long. The symmetry in that. Definitely a block. Look at the depth to it. Some other ones that are much bigger, also these triangular blocks with small little parts in the centers. And these are from part 1 of this series. This is also from dozens of triangular objects spotted in Newcomb on Mars. And each side of that triangle is about 4 meters in length. And it's on top of a triangular object with a hollowed out area underneath it, also in the shape of a triangle. Right, another little triangle, each side there is about 4 meters in length. That's on top of a block. Looks like there could be a hole over here in the center. So there they are for you to compare. This one here is from part 2 of this series. Okay, this is the scatterings of Newcomb on Mars, and we're looking at that triangular object over there. Let's see, it's about 12 meters long and about 8 meters wide, and it's got this crumbled up piece over the top. Looks like it's folded over the top. Check at this, another one of these parts sticking out of a larger object, and that round larger object is about 12 meters across, and the rectangular piece sticking out of it measures about 4 by 8 meters. That's 4 by 8, straight edges, right angles, rounded corners, and looks like this could be a structure with an opening over there. Look at these straight edges and right angle there too. Something similar also from scatterings of Newcomb, and the part sticking out there is about 3 by 5 meters, and to the left we've got that piece with a little protrusion on it, and there they are side by side. Looking at a strange little cube or block on this larger piece there. This is from the disks and blocks of Newcomb on Mars, and each side of that block is about 3 meters in length, with straight edges and right angles to it. Also has a design over here to the bottom left, similar to this over here from part 2 of this series. That design is similar over here as well. We've got a huge object over there. I call this the huge bird on Mars. Looks like some type of sculpture or carving, and it's about 900 meters long. Let's have a look at it close up. Looks like the body of a bird, the beak over there, 2 wings on the sides. This piece over here seems as if it was here and it broke off and drifted off to the right. Okay, now we're looking at another one of these strange objects. It looks like a fossilized creature. This is from strange relic found near Kanowski on Mars. They have a bright disk over here of about 12 meters in diameter. Now let's check that out. Also has this squiggly shape to it. Looks almost like a T-shaped object. It's very artificial. I don't know what that could have been. And there they are for comparison. Also you can see the squiggly design or shape. Okay, then we're looking at another multiple-sided, almost like a hexagon-shaped object there. And each side is about 8 meters in length. Like all the others, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 visible sides to it. And there some of the others are, I'm not showing them all, very similar to this one over here. And these 3 are all from part 2 of this series. And we're getting to weird artifacts that were found in Antarctica and on Mars that look very similar. This was featured originally by Florida Marquise, and then again by Dolly and Mikey from Mars Moon Space TV. It's a strange region in Antarctica located 75 degrees 0 minutes south, 0 degrees 03 minutes east. We've got a long runway to the left. Something really strange happened over here. Lots of red liquid spilled over that area there. Look at the activity that took place on that area just in front of that, and then this ribbed structure over there. This is from similar creepy bases discovered in Antarctica and on Mars. There's that area just to the right of the runway. Look at the tracks over here. Something traveled around and around the spot, and then lots of donuts to the left. Very red, very scary looking actually as well. And in that ribbed design, look at the symmetry and geometry going on here too. And these little pyramidal structures over here, also same size. Look at the spacing between them. And there are some of those that are found on Mars. These are approximately 40 meters long and about 20 meters wide. Unfortunately, this is the best resolution I can find. This was taken at 4x4 binning, and there they are up close. You can see the little V shapes or delta shapes on the sides, and something seems to be venting out of them. And there's a illustration I did of what these objects look like. Alright, connecting more dots between Earth and Antarctica, we're looking at 3 gigantic hidden domes on Mars. This is zoomed out. That dome-like object there is huge, and there it is. It's like 150 meters in diameter, and also covered in sand and dust. This one here is also zoomed out, and there it is up close, and it's about 500 meters in diameter, also hidden inside a circular depression. And this one over here to the right, this is also a zoomed out view. Just to show you there aren't any other domes like this in these photographs. And there it is up close, also about 500 meters in diameter. And up close we can see the 3 over there for you to compare. Reminds me of the Amundsen Scott dome-like structure that was built in Antarctica, 50 meters wide and 16 meters high. And then we're looking at reoccurring designs spotted in Protonillus on Mars. We're checking out structures like these. That piece there is about 20 meters wide, consisting of 2 parts, a dividing line, and in the center we've got a strange little part over there. And next to it also a weird object with the straight edge on it. Again, that one there, that's about 20 meters long by about 12 meters wide. And it's got 2 parts, a separating line, and almost on top of that line we've got this smaller part over there. Now there are some others. This was from my video and blog post called Conclusive Evidence, Ancient Civilization on Mars with Links to Earth. And when I posted these to my Facebook, all my entries were censored. Check out that video. That's when I also deleted my Facebook account. I wasn't going to fight with Facebook to uncensor all my entries. I think there were over 300 that were censored, that weren't visible to the public. But check out the similarities going on here, guys and girls. Reminds me of that object found in Napta Playa in Egypt. Also 2 parts, a separating line, and a smaller part in the center. Credit to ancient aliens, that image over there. So this is very close to a little Stonehenge that they found. Right, then we're looking at another multiple-sided object over there. That piece is about, let's see, 18 meters wide. And zoomed up, you can see straight edges, get the angles over there, similar angles, and symmetry and geometry going on here again. And I'm going to compare it to only 2 that I've featured previously. This is from part 2, both of these. It's very similar to this one over here. How does that happen in nature? I can't see that this is natural. Right, we're looking at this object here. Return to Protonillus on Mars. Got this rectangular object, and it's about 15 meters long by about 5 meters wide, and it's got a dome on it. Check that out. And also in the corner, a little dark spot. It's almost as if it's slightly rounded. The shadow that's being cast. I wonder if that there is an entranceway to the underground. Right, similar piece there. It's about 16 meters long, about 5 meters wide, and on top of it, also on the one side, we've got a oval sort of protrusion or part. Definitely elevated off the surface as well. Check at the right angle. So there they are. Get the similarities. We've got the rectangular larger part on the left of each. We've got smaller parts. Alright, look at this piece. That there's about 25 meters long and about 6 meters wide. It's very artificial. It's like there's some wreckage around it as well, and this part on the top is what makes this look very artificial. Got straight edges there, and a right angle. Looks like there's some more sheet metal buried underneath the sand and dust there. Another square object there. This is still returned to Praternillus on Mars. Looking at that object right there in the center, and it measures about 12 by 12 meters, and it's also got this sort of megalithic design to it. We featured previously, found in Cusco, Peru. Got like a dome-like object on the top, and in front of it that smaller dome right there. What's going on here? It looks like intelligent design behind that. And then just to remind you of what those looked like, there they are. Get the angles. Intelligent design for sure, I think. We've got a weird object over there. Look at the geometry in this. That piece is about 12 by 12 meters, and it's got this almost like a funnel shaped design to it. A little disc on the side of the protrusion on it. Still in return to Praternillus on Mars, we've got this rectangular object there, measuring about 10 by 6 meters. And unusual about this one is the long, narrow part parallel to the one side, right there in the center of that larger piece. Looking at this square slab or metal plate over there, measuring about 12 by 12 meters, and on top of it another little triangular object, maybe even a little pyramid, and next to it a larger dome-like structure with 3 dark spots on the one side. Straight edges and right angles again. And there's just one other example. This is from part 2 of the series. Also the larger base structure with a little triangle on top. 3 of the smaller dark spots like we have there. Really weird what I'm finding on Mars. I've got another one of these plectrum shaped objects like an ellipse. That piece is about 12 meters wide, and on top of it 3 smaller parts arranged in a triangle again. That's from part 1 as well as this one. Get the similarities again. Right, here we're looking at another one of these disc-shaped designs, about 12 meters in diameter. Look at that perfect arc to it, and then on top smaller parts arranged in a circular pattern around that part in the center of the disc. And then we're looking at a small little object over there inside that clearing. That there's about let's see, 4 meters across. Inside this square hollowed out area there, and on top of it a little dome, rather weird as well. And there's some similar ones from part 2. You can compare them over there. We're looking at a strange tombstone shaped object over here again. Still returned to Praternillus on Mars, about 12 by 12 meters, and it's got a protrusion there in the center line. Similar to this one over here that I featured earlier. Okay, check it this. we've got some square and rectangular objects over there. That little hollowed out part is about, let's see, 5 by 5 meters. And we've got the larger part to the right. To the left, we've got that sort of very narrow rectangular part over there. Parallel 90-degree angles there, and it seems to be carved out of this larger part. With the placement of that, highly unusual as well. Right, look at this, also huge. This is about 15 by 15 meters. The small little object on the top is about 3 by 3 meters, and it's placed close to the corner of the one side. Very similar to some others. These are just a couple of examples from part 1 and 2. Check that out. Look at this strange piece, also not that unusual. It's about 15 by 20 meters, and it's got 2 parts to it, split down the middle, and right there in the center we've got that smaller part. Get these straight edges and right angles going on here again. Parallel to there, we've got that split. And this is from part 2. Also the large structures with these little parts in the centers of the sides. And then I thought I'd throw this in. Can't end part 3 without chucking in this guy. Martian artwork shows creepy guy. And there it is, rotated a bit. Looks like a zombie type of guy over there in a dream state. Some bubbles going up to the top over here. There the 2 shoulders are. Looks like he's holding his hand up there. The head, the 2 eyes, the nose and the mouth. How weird is that? Looks like he's wearing a suit. Okay, that pareidolia maybe, but yeah, just thought I'd show you the zombie guy locked in the sands of time on Mars. Wow, part 3, another very long video. I know part 4 might be a bit shorter. The evidence thus far of what I think is remnants of an ancient civilization on Mars. I've submitted my findings to the producers of Ancient Aliens and some other researchers. I wonder what they're going to make of this. I've tried before in the past with no success, so let's see where this goes. I think this is unprecedented disclosure from my side, guys and girls. I haven't seen anything else like this on YouTube. I'm not bragging, but really, this is hard work. Culmination of 2 years of research, and connecting the dots is a logistic nightmare, let me tell you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. That way you'll be informed as soon as I upload part 4. Remember to hit the notifications bell and click on all. If you'd like to, you can support me on PayPal or Patreon. PayPal, any contributions there will be highly, highly appreciated, guys. And remember, you can find all these images over at my blog, 1-to-1 scale, where you can do your own research. Thanks for watching this one. I'll be back with part 4 soon. I hope you guys have a great New Year's. Take care and be safe. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now.